welcome to episode 3 of Let's Paint a Statue. And for today's episode, we're going to be painting this cute yard hippo. And the reason I picked this statue is because this is a perfect example of a very simple paint finish that's only going to take a couple steps, but by the time we're done, this is going to look like an extremely detailed statue, and people are going to assume that you spent hours on it, when in reality it's barely going to be a few minutes at best. Now, to begin with, I've already got a base coat on the statue. Now, for details on base coats, go to episode 1 about base coats and learn about that, why they're important and how to do them properly. For this hippo, I am doing a dark gray base coat. Now, I sometimes will do a black base coat and then do a dry brush gray coat over that to get even more definition. But like I said, I'm wanting to keep this as simple as possible. So I'm just going straight with the gray base coat. And I don't know how well it will show up on the video, but with the base coat, because it's done so runny, you can kind of see some of the concrete from underneath shows through, and that's fine, because once we're done, that's all going to be covered up. So with this dark gray base coat, what we're going to do is I already have some white paint and a little bit of black paint. I'm going to make up my own little gray paint that's a lighter color than this. So for that, I'm going to get some of this white. I'm using this old white I had left over that's it's getting dried out and thick, but for dry brushing, you want it thick. By the way, dry brushing for techniques, go see episode 2 where I show you how the dry brushing techniques are done. So we're going to get some of that white over here and just a little bit of the black. I'm going to mix that up together. Probably want it a little darker than that. And this is how I do pretty much all my colors for paint. I just have the few basic primary colors, and then I just blend them and mix them as I desire for going on each piece. So, all right, so now we're going to start by just going kind of light over the whole thing. And with this light coat over the dark, you're going to see that it brings out all the details of the statue. All the little pores, all the little wrinkles in him. And it really makes the detail pop out without having to do a very difficult detailed finish. Very simple, very easy to do. And I'm just going to kind of blend it in, try to get rid of the brush marks. Where there is a bit of detail, such as the brow here and the ears, I go across where the detail is to get a bit more of the paint off. And as you can see, I have not gone to reload my brush again. This is probably going to be enough to do the entire surface of the hippo here. Across his tail there. All right, from this angle I can't quite see the front here, but from what I can tell, I believe that should be about it for that lighter coat. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit more white, and this is optional, and that's the one thing when you paint these, try different techniques, see how you like it. Some people, this would be done. I'm going to add a little bit more color to it around some of the bigger areas on them here. Just make the lighter color stand out just a bit more. You know, I don't want much paint on the brush, that's why I'm really rubbing it off on the cardboard there, but I'm just going to do that. Okay, so that step I would say is pretty much done. At this point, there's really only 2 steps left. So we're going to let this dry for a minute, and we're going to come back and I'm going to show you the next step. And we're back. The dry brushed light coat is dry. Now on a hot summery day, that would almost dry instantaneously as it's being painted. Right now it's kind of gloomy and rainy out, so I had to give it a couple minutes, but it still only took maybe 3 minutes total to dry, and it's good to go. So now we're just going to add a little bit of color just to make the cute hippo pop out a little more. So what I'm going to do, I now have a little bit of red paint, and I'm just going to get some of this white here, and I'm going to make myself a nice pink color. And yes, you can just get pink paint if you want, but again, I like to just blend my colors as needed. Even if I had a pink paint, I'd probably lighten it down. A lot of them are just a little too bright for what I'm about to do. And as you see, I'm using a smaller brush now, but it still works the same way for dry brushing. We're gonna get most of that off. So now all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come up over here to the eyes, and I'm just gonna Just very lightly put a little pink up and around the eye area here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of get it around the eyes here, a little bit over here. If it's a little heavy, I just kind of mush it down with my finger there. How about a little bit up here on the edge of the ears? Again, just a light little dusting of it. We don't need too much color. It is a hippo. Hippos aren't necessarily the most colorful animals, of course. And one thing when painting animal statues, you don't have to worry about being super realistic with them. In fact, usually they look worse if you try to make them too realistic. And when it comes to the eyes especially, you very rarely do realistic animal eyes look right on a concrete statue. So I'm gonna put my standard eyes in this hippo that I use for almost every animal statue. Now for this video, because that's all that's left now is to do the eyes, I'm actually just gonna skip ahead and show you the finished eyes. I'm doing a separate video where I'm gonna go into detail about the eyes that I use most of the time. But that's really, other than the eyes at this point, we're almost done. So let's let that dry and see what the finished product looks like. And we're done. With just a simple little bit of work and a little bit of paint, we made this plain looking, albeit cute hippo statue look absolutely adorable. Eyes are done now. Check out my video where I show exactly how I did those eyes. Very simple, easy to do, and they work on just about any statue. And then I also put a clear coat on here. I also have a video regarding what kind of clear coat we use on our statue, so check that out as well. But there you go, a simple, easy to do finish that makes this guy pop, makes him cute, adorable, with hardly any work at all. And here's the thing, if you're in the business to sell, that little bit of work will get you 2 to 3 times the amount of profit on this guy, because people think it just looks so much nicer when they're painted up like this. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you can use these techniques, and of course go out there and practice. Try some experimenting of different colors for yourself. And always remember, no mistakes are permanent. You can always paint over and do it again, so you don't have to worry. Just have fun. That's why I enjoy it. This is a wonderful thing, and I'm very fortunate that I get to do it for a living for my family. So until next time, make sure to check out the info underneath this video. It has my contact info as well as my email, my website, and all that. You know the drill. Until next time, happy painting.